Welcome to Feed Your Lion. I'm Dr. L.I.O.N, and I'm here to aid you in the mastery of total health, spiritual, mental, emotional, physical, and financial. So prepare to have your wellness tank filled up with this podcast. Welcome to another episode of Feed Your Lion. Today's special guest is Jenny Craig Miles. She has been a friend of mine. How long have we been friends?
Probably 5-6 years, maybe. 5
or 6 years. That sounds about right. And Jenny started out as a realtor and then a broker now. And now she has her own tea shop she just opened. So we're going to go through everything today. But start out, tell us like how you got started into real estate in general. Let's start there.
Okay.
And like walk through it a bit.
Okay. Well, first I'm going to say that Jodelle knows very well that I am not good at speaking. I'm not, so bear with me on this. But anyway, just talking to a friend, so it should be easy.
I told her not to stress. Easy peasy.
Okay, so the way I got started in real estate, I was married to my baby daddy, and we were getting a divorce. So I had stayed home and taken care of my kids. I was doing the stay-at-home thing, and he was working, so we had more time. I had more time with my kids. So I knew I was getting a divorce, and I knew I wanted to do something where I wouldn't be doing a 9-to-5.
Sure.
Because I had these 2 kids that I had to take care of, and I wanted to be there. I didn't want to have to ask my boss for a day off.
Absolutely.
If they were sick, or, that way I could still be room mother, still do everything they wanted. So I got my real estate license. I think I was 30 when I got my real estate license.
And I'm doing that. Let's talk for just a second. Like, how long did it take you to do your...
To get your real estate license, it takes about the same as one college semester.
Okay.
So back then, they were quarters.
Okay.
It's been a while.
Okay. All right.
It was 2002.
Okay.
So it was 1 quarter.
And you were good.
Yeah.
And then you took your test.
Then you take a test, and then as long as you pass that test, then you're an agent. You start off as an agent working under another broker.
So that's something like for people out there, like you said right there, the flexibility, and it's not a long process. Like we're talking, I was going to get my license under Jenny here just to have it for investing purposes, and they want about 90 hours.
Yeah, that's about what it is.
Yeah, about 90 hours. So that's not something long for somebody who, like you said, is is mom, or has other commitments and can't be under that typical schedule. So that's okay. Right. So go on. I'm interrupting already.
Okay. So that test also, by the way, is 85% failure rate. So if you do decide to get into real estate and you don't pass the test, take it again.
Don't stress
out. Take it again. It's designed to fail because you have to pay every time you take it.
They want your money. Everything's about money.
Of course.
Yeah.
And it's one of those that when you take it, it's instant pass or fail, right then, and then you can even reschedule the next day.
Okay.
So it's not a big deal if you fail.
And they don't have limited attempts?
No.
So you can keep on taking it?
Yep.
Just pouring out some money, that's it?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep, take it over and over until you pass it.
All right. So then, what did you think about real estate when you got in? Did you love it right away or no?
I loved it right away.
Okay.
And since then, it's the only thing I've done. So other than flipping houses, which I love also. But I love it. I love the flexibility of it. I love it that if I want a raise, I just work more. I don't have to go to my boss and ask for a raise. It's all up to me. It's all up to the individual. So you do whatever you want with it.
So somebody who likes their freedom and independence, this is a good gig for them.
Yeah. And so literally there are people that are making way more, probably quadruple than what you would even with a college degree.
Yeah, absolutely.
You can go to college for 4 years, which I'm not dogging college. My son is getting ready to graduate from college.
Yeah.
But you don't have to. College isn't for everyone. I've always said that. I don't think college is for everyone. So,
well, there's a lot of technical things too.
Right.
I mean, some people prefer the technical side. You can get your electrician or HVAC
Trades.
or some kind of trade. I mean,
trades are huge right now.
They're huge right now, and they pay a lot of money.
Yes.
So there's other ways I'm a lifelong student. I love school, but that's just me because I'm a nerd. Not everybody's like that.
Right.
You know what I mean? So you're right. I think I
don't think anyone likes school like you love school, Joe.
I don't know. There's some people. Okay, there's some people out there that are nerds like me. Anyways, okay.
You're not the only one.
I'm not. There's this guy I read about in Italy. He gets up at 3 a.m. every day. He's in his 70s. He has like the most degrees in the world. I think there's like one or two other people.
How many does he have?
I think it's like 25 or something. I'm like going, it's something like this, but this is my inspiration. But he gets up at 3 a.m. He's in his 70s and he studies till 7 every day. So he continually works on degrees, and then he works his regular job, and then he spends time with his family in the evening.
Wow.
And I'm like, I like this little Italian man. I think I'm going to go visit him. Anyways.
So has he just college since
Yeah, forever.
No job ever?
Yeah, he works. He stops studying at 7 a.m. and does his
Oh.
regular job till like 4 or 5.
What's his regular job?
I can't remember. But I mean, he could take his pick.
I was going to say,
he could take, maybe he switched by time, but he works a regular day, and then his evenings are reserved for his family, and he goes to bed around like 9 or 10, sleeps like 5 or 6 hours.
Wow.
I'm like this man.
I need 8 hours.
Anyways, this is totally off the thing, but I had to tell you that. Okay, anyways.
Okay.
So going on, so you did the real estate. When did you get into like flipping, doing your own purchases? How
Well,
far into that was it?
Okay, so right away. Actually, I had already started flipping houses. So me and my husband, we had probably at that time done probably 2 or 3 houses. And that's what made me want to get my license, because we would flip the houses. And of course, I was like everyone else, I don't need a realtor. I'm going to list it myself. So that was my favorite part.
Okay.
Like, as much as I loved the actual work of it too, I noticed like when I put it up for sale and got to talk to people and show the house, I'm like,
Yeah.
I like this. I want to
Yeah.
do this.
Yeah.
So that's really what that and scheduling got me into the real estate.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So as a realtor, if you want to be a broker, the way that works, okay. Number one, a realtor has to work under a broker. So if you see a real estate agent, that means that they're an agent. There's a difference between a real estate agent and a real estate broker. A broker is the boss, essentially. It's the one that holds the license for the whole company. So there's usually only one broker at each company. And in Ashland, I think in our MLS right now, there may be 10 brokers.
That's not that big.
There's not a lot.
For Ashland.
There could be more, but there's not a lot. There's way more agents. Most of the people that you see are agents.
Okay.
And I think one of the reasons is you have to have a college degree to get that brokers.
Okay.
So you'll see a lot of these agents that work for 20, 30 years, they never become a broker because they don't have the degree.
Okay.
So I had my degree. I got my degree in psychology.
Okay.
So never did anything with it, but I had it to use it to become a broker.
And it doesn't matter what degree you have.
Any degree.
So-
And I think it can be associates too.
So how long did you work as a real estate agent before you did the broker thing? And what was
So-
that like that made you decide that?
This is a good story.
Okay. Let's hear it.
Okay, so you have to work under another broker for 2 years, and you have to do so many transactions. So I worked under one broker for a year, and then I worked under another broker the second year. And I'm not going to say his name, but I'll tell you what made me decide. I had one day where I had 3 closings in one day. I was killing it. I had 3 closings that day, and they were all what's called a co-op. That means I represented the buyer, but another agent represented the seller. So my broker really didn't have any money in that. He hadn't advertised those listings, so I kind of felt like that was all my work.
Yeah.
I had 3 closings that day, and each commission was like, let's say $1,500 a piece.
Sure.
So I would have got half.
Yeah.
50-50 split on a co-op. So I decided I wanted it all that day. So I got my little pen and paper out the night before, and I figured out, this was like July or August. I remember I figured out how much money he had made off of me that year, and it was $32,000.
Nice. And
Already.
yeah.
That was just his take
Yeah.
on my commission. So
Yeah.
I thought, okay, I deserve this.
Yeah.
So I got everything together, and I went to him that day, and I'm like, I have these 3 closings today, and I don't want to split. I want a bonus. Had to ask for a bonus. And And I was shot right down. He said no. And his main reason that I couldn't have that was because I had to make up for the agents in the office that weren't selling. So right then, a switch went off in my head.
Yeah.
Right then. And I said, you know what? I'm not going to do this forever. I'm not going to do this at all anymore.
Yeah.
So like that same week, I went and signed up for my broker's classes.
Is that typical on the commission? Because some of them are, like, some of them take less, right?
Yeah,
like,
some of them are better. It depends on the broker, and it also depends on, this was a long time ago. So back then we did print ads.
Okay.
And those are very, very expensive.
Yeah.
So it was more of a cut back then.
So because the broker they were upkeeping the office and all the other stuff too, and they had the responsibility of so they were
Right.
Because I know even today, like I've heard some people say even like 80-20, right? Like where they like
a lot of agents do 80-20.
Yeah. Where like they keep 80%, and that's a better, but they don't have that expensive like stuff on the side.
Right.
So that's
Now normally if you're doing an 80-20 split though, that agent is probably buying their own signs. If they want any extra advertising, they're doing it on their own.
They're doing it themselves.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So so then talking about brokerage, do you work under like an already established company a lot of times when you're doing a broker, or do you start your own? Like what's when you talk about that? Because you've got some of the bigger companies out there that you could work under versus like starting your own. What's the difference there?
You can do either, and like right now I've started my own Geneva Properties. It's just independent, but back then I went big. I bought a RE/MAX franchise.
Okay, so you can buy a franchise of that.
That's when I did it. In Portsmouth, there was only one other franchise at the time. It was Century 21.
Okay.
So I thought,
there was
get me a
room.
RE/MAX.
There's room.
Yep,
yeah.
there was room. So I bought the RE/MAX franchise. So I decided in like July or August that I was going to be a broker, and I opened RE/MAX in January. It was that fast.
So what happened there? Like, why did you switch to your own? Like, is it just too many rules to follow under RE/MAX, or like how?
Okay. Well, I did my RE/MAX for 5 years.
Okay.
I loved it.
Okay.
I think it's for someone, especially first getting started.
Yeah.
But even any time, I think a franchise is good. It's instant recognition.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I wasn't
absolutely.
Jenny Realty.
Yeah, absolutely.
I was RE/MAX.
Absolutely.
So I instantly got agents. I had between 12 to 15 agents at all time.
So is that part of the franchise that you have so many, or they just like the name, so they're attracted to working? It's the name.
They're attracted to it, yeah.
So you didn't have to really advertise for your agents?
No. Now, most agents already knew me because I'd been in that town for 2 years doing it.
Okay.
So a lot of them came for that too.
Okay.
But I think it probably helped them.
Okay.
It probably helped them decide. I don't know if they would have come with just Jenny Realty.
Okay.
So I think it did help.
Okay.
The reason I let RE/MAX go was then kind of the same things that I loved about it, I ended up not loving about it. I think it helped because it's kind of foolproof. When you open your own business, they've got it all laid out, the plan. As long as you follow it, you're going to be successful.
So if you do a franchise with a brokerage, I mean, you have to play by their rules as far as like paperwork side. Like there's not like a.
You have to do it all how they want you to.
Okay.
Which is great when you're first getting started.
Okay.
But then 5 years later, I didn't want to do what they said anymore.
Yeah.
I wanted to do it my way.
Yeah.
So
how much wiggle room is there on the, like, because I mean, a lot of this job is paperwork too. I mean, there's a lot of legal documents and things that go into that. So like, how much wiggle room is there with that side? Like, I mean, did you create, when you did your own, did you do it like completely from scratch with lawyers, or did you like, okay, I had these basic templates and
they had all the basic templates.
Okay.
They also require a lot of insurance. Like I had, I think $3 million worth of insurance. I had to be insured. RE/MAX Regional had to be insured, and RE/MAX International.
Okay.
So they almost foolproof it.
Okay.
For you to get started.
Okay.
So that part is really good, but also you've got big fees.
Yeah.
Big fees. Like each of my agents were $241 minimum per month. That's before they even sell anything.
Oh, okay.
So even if I don't see you for a month, I'm still paying
You're
for
still
you to
paying
be there.
for you.
So it does add a little pressure too.
Okay.
Yeah, so towards the
Okay.
end, I just decided to get away from it and go on my own.
Okay. All right. That makes sense.
Yeah.
So, looking at buying a franchise, do they get more of their money on the back end then because they're getting all these fees and all these things, like, and they're getting so much profit, I'm guessing, from each sale, right? To the main.
Yep. A percentage, they get the main fee for each agent
Yeah.
plus a percentage of what they sell.
Sure.
Plus buying that franchise was $25,000.
Okay. Is that pretty much, is that how they do it now? Is it
I haven't checked lately. It might have gone up,
up? Yeah.
but it was 25,000. Then at the end, so you're locked in for 5 years.
Okay.
Then at the end of 5 years, if I wanted to renew, it was only another 5,000.
Oh, okay. Okay.
But I didn't want to do it.
So what year was that when you did that?
I started in 05.
Okay.
So 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 5
Okay.
through 10. Yeah.
Now, the big one now I've heard, and you probably don't know much about them since you haven't worked with them, but like EXP, like they seem to be huge right now.
What EXP is, it's almost like kind of you rent your broker.
Yeah.
So basically, if you're a very established agent
Uh-huh.
and don't need someone right
Like
over top
right
of you,
overseeing.
yes,
Yeah.
yes,
Yeah.
you could opt for something like EXP. Now I don't know exactly how it works, like what they have
Mm-hmm.
to pay per month,
Yeah.
but I know that they're very stringent on their paperwork, which is good
Yeah.
because they can't have these rogue agents out there.
Absolutely.
You know, they
yeah.
want to make sure before you get your commission,
Yeah.
you've got to submit your file to them.
Okay.
They check your file to make sure you have all your documents, all your
Yeah.
signatures, and if you don't have them, you've got to get them before you get paid.
I knew that was a little different setup because, like, I've seen several people in that, and I knew they were functioning a little different. But that's an interesting world. Like,
Yeah.
that's a really like. It seems like a natural progression what you did because you started off, okay, I need this flexibility, I need this, but then you were like, okay, I got more comfortable,
Right.
and then I'm going to go with an established brokerage, and figure out and make sure I understand these working pieces, and then okay, now I'm comfortable enough, I have the network and the community, I can do my own. Like that seems
Right.
like you did a very natural
Right.
progression.
I think a lot of local agents that have big names could just go right out on their own
Yeah.
and wouldn't even need that franchise.
Yeah.
For
Okay.
sure.
So it's not. How long did it take you, like, to get comfortable with the process?
You mean of having the franchise or just
Like, yeah, doing all the paperwork stuff, making sure, like, because there's so many things with real estate. Like, there's so many, like, it's one of those things. It's not like straightforward every time. There's always these little, like, before you got really comfortable with, like, 80 to 90% of the
Right.
questions or the issues that came up? How long do you think it took you?
different for agent and broker?
Okay.
As an agent, this was back in the day where they just throw you right in it.
Yeah.
Which is good.
Yeah.
I think that's better.
Yeah,
I prefer
yeah.
to learn that way.
Yeah.
A lot of brokerages right now, if you're an agent there, they won't even let you put your listing in the system.
Why?
They prefer to do it.
Oh, they want to handle it.
They want to handle everything,
Oh,
which
Yeah.
I personally wouldn't want because
You're
I
not
feel like
learning
it's
it.
not hands-on
You're
enough.
not learning it.
I
yeah.
would prefer my agents to learn how to do it themselves.
Yeah.
And get good at it. But I think maybe some brokerages might not want their agents to get better sometimes.
I got you. They want them reliant
Yeah.
on them.
Yeah.
I understand what
Yeah.
you're saying now.
Yeah.
This is interesting. I mean, I feel like this is a really good field. Like for me, I'm in health, right? Like I'm not, but I love real estate. I always have. I've always
Right.
invested in real estate for a long time, like off and on, in and out, different experiences. And I'm like, it's not that much of my time to go ahead and get my license for having, like, instead of paying, all these fees every time I want to do an investment property, and to have access to the MLS. For me, that's a big
Right.
thing. Like, but it's such an easy field. I feel like that's a respect that people could enter into, and like you said, have the freedom and stuff to
Right.
do. Like, I mean, I think it's a great field, and there's so many different facets to it.
Yeah.
Like you can
well,
always,
for you too, with you flipping. So if you list a house,
yeah,
you'll save half your commission
that's right.
because you'll only have to offer commission to the selling agent.
Yeah,
So you can waive your
Yeah.
You don't have to pay yourself.
Yeah.
So you'll save money there. And then when you go to buy
That's right.
houses, say you buy something and the commission's $5,000, you
Yeah.
just take that and put it towards carpet or
That's
whatever.
right. That's right.
Still take your portion of the commission
Yeah.
and use it towards that property.
Yeah. And I mean, as far as like, also let's talk about this for a minute. Upkeep of your license. So you have to do so many like,
a lot.
you have to do so many like continuing education credits. And then
Yes.
what is it like? Is it $1,000 a year or something for your?
It's for the multiple listing system.
Okay.
So the way a multiple listing system works is that's the computer system that all the realtors use. So like if I list your house, I'll go home, I will enter it into the multiple listing system. All the realtors in that area pay to have access to it.
Okay.
So if one of those realtors sits down with the buyer and the buyer says, I'm looking 100 to 150 in Russell, they can get in that MLS and pull up every house in that MLS that's in those requirements.
Okay.
So that does cost. It's actually about $1,000 a year to be
Okay.
a member of that.
Okay.
And I'm in 3 multiple listing systems.
Oh, so you're paying like $3,000 a year.
Yes. I pay to be in the Ashland and the Portsmouth and the Huntington.
Okay.
And I do that because my Ashland listings go in Ashland. Everything across the river in Ironton, Franklin Furnace, South Point, all of that, they use the Huntington MLS.
Really?
Yes.
Interesting.
So for a few years, I tried not joining, and the agents were like, you're going to have to join, because they were having to go unlock doors for me. I didn't have access to the lock boxes.
Oh, because that's all on there too.
Yes. We use different lock boxes. Yes. And then Portsmouth MLS, I'm in it because I have a Portsmouth agent.
So you've got your Ohio and Kentucky, right?
Yes.
And that's 2 separate. So you had to do your 90 hours in each of those states to get those.
Well, it's reciprocal.
Okay.
So if you already have one, to get the other one, you don't have to take all that again. You only have to take the law portion. All the classes and tests are divided into the national, which is just like definitions,
Okay.
floodplain and prorating taxes and just basic stuff, how it works everywhere.
Okay.
The law portion is specific to that state.
Okay.
So that's
Okay.
the part that you would have to take.
So
and
you
then
could
you'd
take
have
a
to test.
shorter training or
Yes,
like is it really?
much shorter.
Okay. And then we'll go into CME real quick. How much CME do you need?
What's that? What's CMA?
Like, I say that because of the
What's a
healthcare side.
CME?
The community, I say continuing medical education.
Okay,
So that's
continuing ed.
the continuing ed. Sorry. See, I'm health.
okay.
See,
That's
it's-
okay.
Yeah.
You do, which I'd have to look it up, but about 30 hours every couple years, maybe. I'd have to look it up. I just do it when they say to do it.
Do those cross states? Like, is it?
No.
Oh, so you have to do like 30 for each state.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
Or what? Some years it's only 10. It just depends on and we have like core courses that we have to take.
Okay.
So it just depends on it, but it's for both states.
Okay.
I have to maintain on both sides.
So you'll have to do continuing credits for each state, and then they tell you, and it varies every year, but you'll know. They'll send you information. Is it interesting continuing ed, or is it like all law? Is it all law?
I mean, it's not interesting because I've done it for 22 years and it's the same
It's
stuff.
the same stuff.
But a lot of it is new. Like, they'll have electives like social media, real estate and social media.
Okay.
You know, new things. Real estate and the different sexual classes.
Okay.
Sexual, all that stuff, because that's all new now. So dealing with different classes of that. So it's always changing in certain ways.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not all boring.
Okay. All right. I was just curious if it was actually stuff you could use or if it was.
You can also choose to take classes like, they have specialties where you could do like buyer rep, accredited buyer rep. That if you'll see like letters that come after someone's name, that would be someone, and I actually am an accredited buyer's rep. I went and learned how to, if you're a buyer and there's not a house in the multiple listing system, how to find a house, how to go out and actually knock on doors, send
Yeah.
out letters, find that house.
Okay.
There's a senior specialist, which I think would be kind of cool.
Uh-huh.
Just dealing with older people.
Yeah.
And, the challenges that you'll face with that. It's a little harder to maybe text them listings.
Yeah. Yeah.
And just dealing with the
Okay.
differences in that. Yeah.
All right. So, do's and don'ts if somebody's getting into this field. Some of your experiences for like do's and do nots.
I would say the number one thing as a new agent, do not think that your broker is going to do it all for you. Because if you do, you're in the wrong field.
Yeah.
If you're not a self-starter, if you can't work on your own and go out there and get your own listings, or if you're not even interested in learning that,
Yeah.
just don't.
Yeah. Okay. That's good. That's good advice. All right. So now I want to talk about, because now you've started a new project.
Yes.
You just opened up. And if you guys are watching the YouTube version, I'm sitting here with my Downtown Russell Nutrition tea that Jenny brought me. I did the yellow starburst today. So if you're watching on YouTube, you can see my yummy drink. But what made you want to do this? So you've been doing real estate forever. What made you want to open a healthy tea shop?
Oh my goodness. Okay. So my friend got cancer last year, as you know. Angie was diagnosed with cancer, and she lives in Tuscumbia, Alabama. So I started going down and visiting a lot last year. And these are everywhere. So anytime you see one of these places that says something nutrition,
Yeah.
it's Herbalife.
Okay.
It's all Herbalife products.
Okay.
So the town where she lives, there's 3 within like a 5-mile radius. They're very competitive.
Yeah.
And these are in most big cities.
Okay.
Most places you go, you're going to see one of these.
Okay.
And we just started going to them. Angie needed protein at the time, and
Yeah.
I needed energy. I was down there visiting and helping her and driving a lot. And
Yeah.
so we would go in and get them, and I just loved the drink.
Yeah.
Herbalife does have like a multi-level marketing background to it.
Yeah.
I don't do it for that.
Yeah.
I don't care anything about the multi-level
Yeah.
marketing. I just like the drinks.
Yeah.
Do you like that yellow Starburst?
I love it.
Does it taste like a yellow Starburst?
I taste yummy. I don't
isn't
know about the yellow Starburst is like my least favorite, but I like that tea.
It's good, isn't it?
You need a pink.
Does it
Starburst.
taste like tea?
No, that's the one thing. So I'm a coffee drinker, right? So
Okay.
when you first said, "I'm open this," I'm like, well, I'm not a big tea drinker, but these don't taste like tea.
You can't even tell.
No, you can't tell. They're delicious. So like the one I'm drinking right now, what I like, because I'm trying to up my protein a lot right now, lifting and stuff. So for me and my weight, I'm trying to get like 150 grams of protein a day. When I was monitoring initially, like the last few weeks, like if I'm just not trying, I'm at like 60 grams of protein a day, right? So I needed to almost like triple my protein for lifting and stuff. So anyways, these have 17 grams in them. So I like that because I'm already doing like shakes and stuff. So I like that. But plus you've got caffeine. Some of yours has higher than others. And then it's got also collagen.
Yes.
So, and everybody wants a good collagen
Yes.
supplement. I mean, even in the, health and wellness, everybody, a lot of women especially are looking for good, like for skin stuff. For
And
collagen.
biotin.
Biotin for hair.
What's
Hair.
the difference in those, JoDell? Collagen and
They're
biotin?
they're just collagen. So that's what everything's made of collagen, and there's a ton of types. Like 1 in 3 are big in your skin, and that's what when people start getting like as you get older, you lose collagen, right? You're losing so much a year, so that's why you're starting to see the sags and the droops, and your skin's doesn't have that elasticity to it.
Right.
Biotin's important in like hair, so especially with like you look at. Especially with COVID and stuff, a lot of people are having hair loss issues. You see, all the people with thyroid stuff, or there's so many reasons. Even just like the male pattern baldness, stuff like that. But one of the big ingredients with that is if you're deficient in biotin. So a lot of people want it for like healthy hair growth.
My aunt says if she drinks 2 of these a day, she can actually feel her hair growing.
That's funny. Yeah. Yeah, no, it's
That's a
funny.
joke.
No, that's what they'll put
That's
him
from
on.
the caffeine.
They'll put I love it. I love it. I love it. She's feeling something, all right.
She's feeling something.
But yeah, and you have immune boosters you can put in these.
Yes,
they're,
immunity.
They're no sugar.
No sugar. They're all stevia-based sweeteners,
Mm-hmm.
and even the ones they're very colorful. All the colors are natural, so no artificial colors.
Yeah.
Trying to go as natural as I can. So like all of our shakes that have any fruit in them, it's all organic.
Yeah.
So we have banana pudding that has banana, strawberry and blueberry cheesecake both have real strawberries and blueberries.
Yeah.
Our Elvis has a banana in it. What else? Our wild berry, you can choose strawberry or blueberry.
Nice.
My syrups, I don't use like the pump syrups.
Yeah.
But I use caramel and chocolate for our shakes. I like to line the cup with them.
Yeah.
Those are organic too.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. No, they're delicious. I mean, I've pretty much had every one of your specialty teas at this point. I've made it. I love them, and like you said, they make you have energy, but it's more of a natural feeling energy. It's not like that,
Right.
Crazy jittery type of stuff.
Right. Also, right now we have 55 drinks on our menu. I have 650 recipes.
Wow.
So a lot more to come.
Yeah, and
We'll start adding new every day.
So you talk for a minute, like how. So you found the company when you were down, spent a lot of time in Alabama.
Yes.
That's when you were exposed to it. How what was the process like, and when did you say, okay, I'm going to go from being a consumer to I'm going to open one of these? Like what was that process?
Okay, so I had an encounter with God
Okay.
this summer, which I haven't told you about.
No.
I haven't told hardly anyone about that.
Okay.
I did. I've always believed in God,
Yeah.
but I never heard Him,
Yeah.
or I wasn't walking with God every
Okay.
day.
Yeah.
So I bought this building in downtown Russell off RV.
Yeah.
Randy Van Hoos.
RV was in our business group we're in.
Yes, he used to own. It used to be called Russell Printing. He has retired recently, but that's what the building was called. So anyway, I bought that building, and I also have a salon in the building called Bloom Salon. And one day, a lady was going to come down to interview to do nails. And my stylist and manager, it's Michelle's salon, she was going to interview this lady. And I decided to stop in just to meet her. And when I went in there to meet her, she looked at me and she said, God has a word for you. Do you want to hear it? And I was like, of course I want to hear it. And the things that she said to me, Jodelle, no one knows.
Yeah.
And Michelle witnessed it too.
Yeah.
She saw this happen too.
Yeah.
It was God talking through this woman.
Yeah.
And I think God knew that I'm stubborn. It's not that I'm stubborn, but for me to believe something, I want proof.
You want to see you want to know.
I want proof.
Yeah, I'm with you. I understand that.
So God sent proof. I guess I wasn't going to Him, so He sent her down there to get me. And it was like a light. It was like a switch went off in me. It was instant. I was instantly saved, anointed, whatever you want to call it. I had an experience, an encounter with God. And my life has not been the same since. Everything has changed in my life. Everything. But I think the reason that I'm opening that, or did open that, was all from God.
Yeah.
And I think He just wants me down there spreading the word about Him. So I'm there to make drinks and spread the word about God.
I love it. I love it. You got your little nice phrases you're putting
We
on
do.
all
We
these.
put the little quotes. I don't go too much God on them because I don't want to make people nervous.
Yeah.
But yeah, just nice little sweet quotes, and I don't
love
throw God at people.
I know.
But
Yeah.
if anyone wants to talk about Him,
I love
I'm ready
it.
to talk about Him.
I love it.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
No, I didn't know you had that big
Yes.
experience.
Yes, I haven't said a cuss word since.
Oh, really?
And you know my potty mouth. So to all you people out there that are wanting to know if God is real, let me tell you, the fact that I don't cuss anymore is 100% proof that I can't get one out.
Maybe
So it's
maybe
a-
that's maybe I need a better God encounter because I still have a potty mouth.
He just took it away. weird too how God does that. Just you don't even have to change anything.
Well, I think there's a lot of people struggling with a lot of things though, and like they feel like it's insurmountable, but that's not the case.
It's not the case. And I would say to those people, if you wonder if God is real, ask him to show you. And he will.
Yeah.
I wish I had known that. Like all those years that, all those times you're at your bottom. All those times I was at the bottom, I never once went to God.
Yeah.
I never even thought about it.
I feel like I've had my own struggles with that recently. Like I've always, definitely, always been a believer in God and higher power and everything. But I think, from growing up in a place where it was like crammed down your throat, and there's a lot of like some of the worst atracities I think come from religious things. So
I hear that a lot too.
So and it's true. I've seen it myself, you know. But I don't know. So it's like separating that and trying to like, I'm going through that, like figuring out like what I actually believe in my own heart to be true and right, and not, what people have tried to cram down everyone's throat,
Religion is kind of a dirty word.
Yeah.
Like religion.
So
it comes along with judgment.
Yeah. No.
Religion and judgment.
Yeah. And there's a lot of, I think too, like there's a lot of using fear. To control and or to fit people in a box that maybe they weren't intended to ever be in. So I trying to break through all of that and deprogram, like, because there's a lot of programming that goes into people from a young age and a lot of things, and trying to like deconstruct that and be like, no, like let's undo this and like start again. Like it can be a long process.
I hear that a lot, and I think too that a lot of people hold back from it because they think that they have to change, or we don't want to give up our sin. Who wants to let your sin go? I love my sin. I mean, everyone, that's fun. Going out sinning, that's fun. We don't want to let it go. So I think that keeps us, like we think we can't have a relationship with God because of that, but it's opposite. It's the opposite of that. God wants your sin. Like God, it doesn't matter what you're doing. Doesn't matter. God wants a relationship with you.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, did you just rob a bank? God wants a relationship with you.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what. Did you just kill someone?
Yeah.
God wants to have a relationship with you.
Yeah.
He does.
Yeah.
He wants to walk with you. He doesn't care what you've done.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. And you can still do those things. Like, it doesn't matter.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ultimately, it doesn't matter. He just wants you to depend on him.
Yeah. Yeah. I love it. All right, so T and God, here we go.
T and God.
So as far as like, let's go back to the basics of this. So what all went into opening the shop? Like what kind of things?
Because you had
a lot of stuff happen when you were trying to open.
It's been an ordeal,
Yes.
Okay, so last August, so I bought that building from RV. The building has 2 apartments in the upstairs. One of them is already finished. I did redo it, but it's rented. Someone's living there. That takes up about 1/3 of the building. The other 2/3 of the building, years ago, like maybe in the 50s or 60s, had burned and never been fixed. So it was just a shell upstairs. So I decided I was going to do my nutrition store upstairs, which would not have been as good. I'm so glad it didn't happen. But anyway, so I dug in, and I do all the work myself,
Yeah, Jenny, like, she's not just into real estate. This woman is like hanging up siding, drywall. I mean, you name it, you have done it.
I hung all the sheetrock by myself.
Yes,
I did the floor. I do all that stuff. So I worked for started August, September, October, November, December. 6 months.
Yeah.
6 months up there getting it ready. I was zoned commercial. I did all my permits. I did everything exactly how I was supposed to do. I even asked them specifically, could anything happen where you could say I can't open because I'm in the upstairs, because I wasn't handicap accessible. I didn't have an elevator. No, you're fine. It'll be fine. You're grandfathered in. Everything's fine. Keep going. And then come time for our final plumbing inspection, couldn't do it. So $20,000 and 6 months in,
Yep.
I found out that I couldn't open upstairs. So I was a little upset for a couple days. A little upset. But I just prayed on it. And then at BNI that Wednesday, RV stands up. When you heard it, it's the first time I'd heard
Oh,
it.
you didn't know before
No,
that.
I found out when you did.
Okay.
RV, who had the downstairs space where I am now,
Yeah.
and had been there for 15 years,
Yeah.
stands up and announces that he's closing and retiring. So
That's crazy.
it was heaven sent. I mean, how that happened, perfect timing.
There's so many things like that they just work out
They
when they're
do.
supposed to. And when you're encountering like a ton of resistance, there's reasons for some. I mean, like what
You're
you
right.
went through, like upstairs, you were. I mean, anybody would have been madder than fire at that, but it turned out that it was.
Works out for the best, like it always does.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, he announced that he's retiring. That was at the beginning of February.
Yeah.
30 days later, he was out, and I started construction downstairs, which didn't need near as much as the upstairs.
Yeah.
And then opened the third week in April.
That's amazing.
So, and
And-
way better location.
And you're booming already.
Booming.
Already.
Booming. Yes.
And you were like there's a lot of health conscious people coming too. Like
Yes.
you told me you did not expect that, like how many people were like more like, okay. And they have it set up, you said, in their franchise where like even doing like some consults with people and stuff like
Right.
that on what their health needs are and
Right.
things.
So I really was just thinking, this is going to be something, these pretty drinks, energy. I thought people would mostly be coming for the energy.
Yeah.
But it's not the case.
Yeah.
Like, a lot of it is the protein.
Yeah.
I have cancer patients who are struggling to get their protein in, and nothing tastes good.
Yeah.
You know that when you're doing chemo radiation, your taste buds are all messed up, so things don't taste good to them. I've got a lot of gastric bypass and the
Yeah.
gastric sleeve.
Yeah, they need those vitamins, minerals, all that
They need
stuff.
it too, and when
Yep.
they get a shake, I'll divide those up for them.
Yeah.
I'll split them in two for portions,
Yeah.
so they can do like a little half of their shake in the morning, then half later on in the day.
Wow.
So
Yeah, that's awesome. So the business itself, you said it's multi-level, but it's capped at 3 levels. Is that
think
how,
so.
how do they do that?
I think you can have one person under you that does a store, and then if that person has someone under them doing
Okay.
a store, so
Okay.
it would go that far. So I think my upline, my manager, the girl that I met in Alabama,
Yeah.
she gets a percentage of what I do.
Okay. And you're how much, like, what's the profit on the drinks? Because the drinks are 9 something, right? And they're
They're
big
9 something.
teas. Like they're big.
They're huge.
You guys can, if you're watching YouTube, you can see how the size of these.
Right. Our
but-
profit is actually not a whole lot right now.
Yeah.
And even I've had people tell me that there's another place in another town that's about an hour from here, and like my same specialty drinks are 11. They're $9 here.
Really?
Yeah, so I'm trying to keep everything really affordable.
Yeah.
I don't charge for extras. So
Yeah.
like whip topping, I don't charge for that. The extra fruit, the real fruit that I'm putting in, don't
Yeah.
charge for that. The milk in the drinks, I don't charge extra for that.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to I want repeat.
Yeah.
It's all
Absolutely.
about repeat business.
Repeat business.
Yes.
Okay. What do you see in the future? What are you thinking?
Opening more.
You want to open more?
Yeah. Yeah.
I told Jenny when we get our gym in here, because our gym's open in September, October this year. So when we get our gym open, we're probably going to add something under Jenny, because people want that when they're working out and stuff.
Right.
Like I said, for me, I mean, you look at, I want 150, of protein a day. Well, that's, 4-ounce chicken, you're talking 20 grams. So that's one of these drinks, 17 grams. So I'm having to do like 2 or 3 protein bars and shakes a day, and then plus like 3 meats, like either chicken or like beans or like salmon, shrimp, whatever, to try to hit that goal. And it's something I have to working for, and I'm just now like, okay, I got to do this consistently. So
Our shakes have 24 grams of protein.
they're a little higher. That's
and
right.
they curb
They're-
your appetite too.
They're a little higher. They got a little more calories though too.
Yeah, when I first started using this, drinking these, it was like last July or August. I normally weigh like 135 to
Yeah.
140. I'm 5'3".
Yeah.
Normally 135 to 140, which was, I looked
Yeah,
slim.
yeah.
Not slim, but
You've always been slim, though.
yeah,
You-
yeah.
yeah.
I weigh 110 right now. I've lost 5 more pounds, which I really didn't want to.
Yeah.
But so I've lost 25 pounds.
Yeah.
In a
'Cause
year.
You're drinking shakes all day and you're not hungry.
I go in, well, since we opened, I weighed like 115 3 weeks ago. And now I go in every morning and do a pour over, which
Yeah.
is the same nutrients as our shake. So the pour overs, when I put everything in the blender, I don't put ice.
Yeah.
I just put water, so it makes like a batter.
Yeah.
And then I pour that over nugget ice.
Okay.
Same as a shake, 24 grams of protein.
Okay.
So I've been doing one of those every morning. I
Yeah.
don't want to eat. I don't want to eat all day.
Well, when I'm getting the higher protein, it's helping because I have a ravenous appetite. I mean, I still gotta take like 20.
Ravenous.
I do. I'm telling you.
I've seen you eat, girl.
Oh.
I know.
20. I gotta take another 22 pounds off. I'm at 180.
Oh, there's 22 more pounds.
Yeah, I got to be at 160. Like, I want to compete, man. I got to
that's
compete.
right. Oh, that's right.
I want to compete. I want to be at like 160, like for lifting.
I forgot
wanna,
you're doing this.
I want to be. I told you I got to have the year of 40, and I got to do my
Okay.
competitions. It's
When is your competition?
well, I got a year and what 3 months to lose.
Do that.
Well, I'm doing it slow though because I want to maintain that. I don't
Right.
want to like. I'm not trying to be crazy. I've taken off 20 in year and a half, so I want to do.
good.
I want to do it again. Like, but for me, getting that high protein has helped a little bit because I've done it the last few days, like just to like make sure I hit it, and it has made me less hungry because
does.
and I'm eating a ton of food, but it's like I'm not eating like like Eden calls me the pastry princess. I'm not as hungry for my pastries if I do that much protein.
Good.
So, but that's
Well, and if you're getting a sweet shake, like our shakes are 2 to 250 calories, 250, and they taste like they're 800.
yeah,
They're good.
yeah,
So you don't really feel like you're skimping.
yeah. And I mean, if I'm eating like a double portion of like shrimp, chicken, stuff like that with protein extra, it does pretty good. Like I've
Right.
noticed, people always said like if you had protein, you're more filled, you don't have craving. And I'm like, that's baloney because I eat meat and stuff. Like it's not like, and I've ate like but I was only still not hitting like still under 100. So adding in that extra 60 grams, like really trying and making myself eat more, it has made a little difference in the last few days when I've like been serious about like hitting that mark.
Right.
It does make a difference, and I was like, wow, I'm like for somebody who eats a lot of food and eats a lot of meat, I was still not hitting my protein marks.
Right.
So it's like it's kind of interesting when you actually pay attention.
I feel too, as I get older, I need that protein.
Yeah.
Like I just feel my body getting softer. I do. You know what I mean? It's just like
you don't have any sauce.
it's getting squishy.
Oh my
it's getting
God.
soft and squishy.
All right, so tell people where to find you and your business.
Okay, we are located downtown Russell, where everything is right now. It's the place to be, downtown Russell.
If you're in another country, guys, listen to this. I'm sorry, but if you visit Kentucky, come see us all, anyways. But go on.
Yes. So downtown Russell, Kentucky, we're right on the river. It's a beautiful little town. We are where the Super Quick is. We're right across the street and down. Okay. So we've got a big bright yellow sign flashing.
Okay.
DTR Nutrition open. We're open 7 to 7 Monday through Saturday.
Okay. And you got your salon in there too. Brandy's in there with her best darn chocolates.
Yes.
And then if they want to find you for real estate in this area, you do Ohio and Kentucky. So how can they find you there?
That's Geneva Properties.
Okay.
And you can look me up. I'm on Realtor.com. My number is 606-744-3335.
Say it one more time.
606-744-3335.
Perfect.
Got it on me all the time.
All right. And is there anything else that you want to throw in that we didn't talk about? Or
Yes.
Okay.
We are doing delivery.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Delivery is going to be a big part of our business because you've already gone to work. It's 10 o'clock. You hit the wall. You can't leave.
Yep.
We will bring it to you, minimum of 4. And we're doing Russell about 2 or 3 mile radius. So we'll go down to Raceland. We'll come into Ashland.
Mm-hmm.
We're not going to hit all of Boyd County right now. If it gets busy enough, we might. expand a little more into Boyd County. We'll go some parts of Boyd County. It depends on how big the order is.
Sure.
I'm really looking for larger groups. So like schools who want to treat their teachers like a teacher day, testing day, where the teachers are sitting around and need some energy.
Yeah.
Any type of trainings or business meetings where you're stuck in a classroom setting or any type of setting where you could get tired and can't leave to get energy. We will bring it to you. We'll bring up 50, 60, we'll bring 100 teas.
Love
We've
it.
got that many people. Luncheons.
I love it.
I'm thinking too, like bridal showers, birthday parties.
There you go.
I was thinking a gender reveal. We could do all pink teas or all blue teas.
There you go. That'd be
So,
cool. That'd be fun. I like
I thought
that.
so too.
I
Yeah.
like that.
So just getting into, we're just open for all of it. Like I said, this is new to me. I don't even know how to do this kind of business, but I'm learning.
Hey,
So-
you're doing a great start though, aren't you?
Thank you.
Yeah, Jenny.
Getting there.
I love your face. Thank you
I
for
love your face.
coming on today and hanging out and talking with
Thanks
me,
for
even though
having
you're
me.
busy. And as always, we're gonna end. And since I think Jenny's one of the biggest hustlers I know, I felt like this was a good quote here. The load on your shoulders today will be the ground that you walk on tomorrow. And that's from Nicole Adson.
Yes.
Thanks
That's true, isn't it, Jodelle?
It is true,
I
right?
like that.
I know, right?
That was made just for me today. I was supposed to hear that today.
There you go.
Yep.
Well, as always, guys, thanks for coming on, Jenny, and we'll see y'all the next time.
Bye-bye, everyone.